with you, watching the years rise and fall. Because even with all your lies, it was better than nothing at all. Sometimes in the middle of the night, when the one you're with, well, she ain't quite right. Funny how real things get pushed aside, and I wish you were here right now with your baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes. People drop by just to say hello. How are you doing? Well, things are a little slow. And it's funny how things can go out on the tide. And I wish you were here right now with your baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes. Baby blue eyes, I've got me feeling so messed up inside. With your baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes. Yeah, baby blue eyes, I've got me feeling so messed up inside. Baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, yeah, baby blue eyes, I've got me feeling so messed up inside. Baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes, baby blue eyes.
Contar con nosotros con Vibrators, que fue un grupo que se fecundó en el 77 y hacían música punk, y después de varios años de evolución pues hacen rock and roll.
Y dos de sus integrantes han tocado con la banda de Peter Gabriel, y uno de ellos toca actualmente con los E-Mates.
Bueno, y lo que vamos a escuchar a continuación son dos temas de su último LP, que se titula algo así como Richer.
String him along, he's all surface gloss. If you had a deep relationship now, you'd be little boy lost. See him walking down the street, acting like he was maybe a king. But just one word from you, and he'll be on his knees promising anything. String him along, string him along, string him along, string him along. He only enjoys her 'cause he knows it hurts you. But he'd be devastated, girl, if you found someone new. He never noticed your tenderness, he never looked on you at his best bet. He thinks he's somebody when really he's no one at all. something before things go wrong. You know I always admired you because you were that strong. And it's what you do now. String him along. String him along. String him along. String him along. Gets a little older, life gets a little colder. He'll wonder where he went wrong and how you were right and you could both have got along. So string him along, string him along, string him along, string him along. Walking down the street, acting like he was maybe a kid, but just one word from you, and he'll be on his knees promising anything. Oh, string him along, string him along, the little jerk now. String him along, hey, you're so clever now. String him along, hey. Wish that would be now. String him along. String him along. String him along.
Domingo a las 11:30.
What's that war you're fighting? And girl, yeah, what's the stuff you're using? Hey boy, yeah, what's that flag you're waving? And you out there, yeah, what's the stuff they got you swallowing? Sure, too dumb, yeah, you're too dumb. Too dumb, yeah, you're too dumb. Funny how in life you only remember the good times and the bad times. Everything else you seems to get the good in. And he's too dumb to see it's being used. She's too dumb, but she's just been deliberately confused because they're too dumb. Yeah, you're too dumb. Too dumb. Yeah, you're too dumb. It's turning into some kind of machine code. You're turning into another one. You're gonna die disappointed cause you only got a fraction of what you wanted. You're too dumb. Hey, you're too dumb. Too dumb, yeah, you're so dumb. Okay, dummy, come on. What do you know? The concrete down at the missile base has marks growing on his south face. Someone inside which has a cruel heart. Sometimes stirs but is unconscious for the most part. And you got your fast car and your fast girlfriend, and you got your money to spend, but you're dumb. Yeah, you're so dumb. Yeah, dumb. Yeah, you're so dumb. Give me extension 22. Oh, but your friend is all I stay. I'm only halfway to paradise. So near, you're so far away. I long for your lips to kiss my lips, but just when I think they may, you leave me halfway to paradise. So near, yet so far away. Yeah, being close to you is almost heaven. But seeing you can do just so much. It hurts me to know your heart's a treasure, and my heart is forbidden to touch. Put your sweet lips on my lips and tell me that's where they're gonna stay. Don't leave me halfway to paradise. So near, yet so far away. Don't leave me halfway to paradise. So near, yet so far away. telling all your friends that I was a pushover. But now your birthday may come, and that lovely new dress, you find you cannot reach me. No, you've lost the power. Ain't no use you making those eyes at me now. And it ain't no use you whispering things in my ear. 'Cause you're out of my system. You're out of my system. Out of my system. You're out of my system. You're out of my system. Out of my system. You're so pretty. Not to talk to you would be a crime. Let me put my arms around you. Just wanna use up a little of your time. And I'm going, baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Won't you be my girl? Your eyes are so pretty, and the clothes you wear, they're so fine. I want you come around to my place. Just wanna use up a little of your time. And I'm going, baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Won't you be my girl? Ah, come on, come on.
So, liebe Zuschauer, bitte anschnallen und das Rauchen einstellen. Bei uns im Studio geht jetzt nämlich der Punk ab. Live aus London zu uns gekommen sind die Vibrators. Anfang der 80er Jahre wurden sie in einem Atemzug mit den Punkgrößen Sex Pistols oder Stranglers genannt. Heute präsentieren sie uns den Titel Disco in Moskau.
television program called Ready, Steady, Go. I can still remember 1963. I got turned on when I turned on my TV. They had a TV show I was moving down the side. All the weekly scenes would drag by till 6 o'clock Friday night. They got you by the ball, oh, I wonder, oh, ready, steady, go, ready, steady, go, oh, you want to have a first ready, ready, steady, go, ready, steady, ready, steady, go, ready, steady, ready, steady. Have a first, I was just 11. I suppose I never reached my teens. I think down, she was a queen with a vibratory. Pop art and the who, they were simple by design. Oh, my generation, said she was down my spine. They got you by the ball, oh, I'm wondering, go, ready, steady, go, ready, steady, go,
piece of me in a software explosion. Check out Darwin's family tree. Check out a beaver and a monkey and sailors back from the ocean. My pretty girl thought it does it. And over this I thought this I say goodbye to reflection and you and I. Your love is fading away. Your love is fading away. Your love is fading away. So betrayed. The odds going all the way they shout. Blue crown and country, but I wanna rip my liver around. Wanna rip it out. I'm flying up. The weekend, spin me round again. Darling, darling, on the ship from him. Your love is fading away. Your love is fading away. Your love is fading away. Oh no. Oh no. Your love is fading away. Your love is fading away. Your love is fading away. Oh no.
There's a new one off the new Energize album about Knox's old girlfriend who needs a new brain. I want a brain. Now,
my baby's got a new brain. Now she don't even remember my name. Goes out wherever he dies, she sees. Don't care about little me. New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. A new brain says I'm no longer cool, and I can't get a seat, cause it's working so low. She wants more better when more get up and go, and I'm also too ugly, don't you know? New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. A new brain's got her running all over town. Yeah, she's the hardest looking thing around. You can have eyes only for me. Yeah, she's got so many guys, it's making me dizzy. Yeah, new brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. Come on. A new brain's gotta be working overtime. If I wanna see her, I gotta wait in line. Then he says it's only winners for me. Oh, two-bit loser, oh sorry. New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain. New brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain, new brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain, new brain, new brain, new brain, new brain. My baby's got a new brain.
Hello there, we're the Vibrators. I'm Eddie, I'm the drummer.
And I'm Knox, and I am the guitarist and singer.
Over there, that's our new boy. Hello, that's Pete.
I'm Pete. You alright?
He's only been with us since September. He's a good lad. Now, where do you want to go? Come on, who's going to answer the questions? How did the band start?
Yeah, how did you start? Yeah.
A long time ago, it's 1976 we started, in February. And we met up one Sunday afternoon, and I had a load of gear in the back of the van that belonged to another band called the Lee Cosmic Band that I was roading for. And me and John were talking about getting a band together, and we said, oh, well, let's get Knox involved. And then I was going to try and play bass. They said, well, you're useless at that. You play the drums, and we'll get Pat Collier, who's a really good bass player. And then we met up one Sunday afternoon in February '76 in a pub in Willesden.
I don't remember.
Just round the corner from your house.
Yeah.
And then we went and rehearsed in my parents' garage in the afternoon. And after about an hour, the police came round and asked us to stop because they had a lot of complaints from the neighbours, and that was us off. That's how we started. And we just kicked off playing pubs and everywhere we could. And it was about the same time that all these other bands like the Sex Pistols and the Damned and the Clash were all forming and trying to do the same kind of thing as we were, although of course at the time we didn't realise that.
Yeah, the Pistols started a year earlier because Eddie had driven another band to a gig. Bazooka Joe had Adamant in it, and they were supported there at St Martin's Art College by a new little band whose first gig was called the Sex Pistols. You see. So it's sort of funny, it's just a sort of small world that Eddie had been driving another band, you know.
That was in November, I think, in '75, and that was their first gig. The thing I remember most about it was that somebody busted the lift, and the gig was on about the 5th or 6th floor of this place, and you had to hump all the gear down the blasted stairs afterwards, which no one was very happy about. Steve Jones didn't have an amplifier, and he didn't want to use the orange amplifier that the guys in Bazooka Joe had, so he went off to get his amp. So John Ellis, who was also in the Vibrators at roadie at the time, he played guitar and I sang, and with Glenn and Paul, and we did about 4 or 5 songs while we waited for him to get his amplifier. Made them up on the spot, just rubbish like Johnny Be Good and stuff like that. And that was the Pistols' first ever gig. But it's a small kind of scene that people knew everybody. Everybody knew kind of, or half knew other people that were in all the other bands.
Yeah, because I knew Eddie from before. He was at school with my cousin or something, and he was driving another band I had.
I wasn't at school with him. He lived up at the end of the road, didn't he?
Oh right.
We both lived in Fairfield Crescent.
He was driving a band I had called Lipstick, which we were playing in the Elgin Arms, and we'd gone for a gig there in probably September, October '75, and we turned up at basically the same time as Joe Strummer's 101ers, but Joe Strummer, he got the Thursday gig, which was the best gig day, and we had the Monday night. But that band, that was before the Vibrators, and we were playing like some of the songs which we did later in the Vibrators, like Whips and Furs and Sweet Sweet.
Was that the pub where they only had the licence for duos on the stage?
Yeah, and I had this one time I had a bass player. He used to be in Kilburn and High Roads, and he was quite small, and he had to stand on the floor, so that looked totally ridiculous.
He couldn't stand on the stage because they only had a licence for duos.
Yeah.
So he had to pretend he was in the audience, stand by the side of the stage, and he was about 5 foot nothing. It just was farcical. But it was...
Anyway, the band started, and our first gig was supporting the Stranglers at Hornsey College of Art. We were very amused because they were driving all their stuff around in Jet Black's ice cream van that he had at the time.
And we were sitting, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then we went on from there because Eddie and Pat Collier, who was the bass player, they went out night after night, going around pubs and places, asking for gigs. And we started to get sort of more work, and we originally when we started we were doing like covers.
But that changed pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, then because that's the fastest. You just ask people, what do you know, just so you can start playing. And then we're introducing some of my songs, Pat Collier's songs, John Ellis's songs, and even songs Eddie wrote. And we recorded a lot of demos at a studio called Hendine in North London, and
I think the studio down in Reading, that was your cousins or something.
Yeah.
Where he blew all his monitors up. Let's play it really loud. So we cranked it up and he's going, wow, that sounds good. And then suddenly all his monitors blew and he had Van Morrison coming in the next day. Oh dear. Well, thanks very much. See ya. He loaded all the gear in the van and drove off. He's tearing his hair out because he got no monitors.
But we started getting, I think we got a bit of press and stuff. We were doing residencies in places like the Lord Nelson in the Holloway Road, which was, you know, quite a good place. And we started supporting bands like the Pistols down the 100 Club, and we were supported by lots of people like the Jam and the Damned, and you know, even Sham 69, people like that. Yeah, we started working quite a lot, but I always think for me the big thing was the 100 Club Festival, and that's always to me put sort of Punk firmly on the map then.
It got so much press, didn't it?
Yeah, and that was sort of 2 days, but we weren't there the first night when the Pistols were playing, because we were actually playing up in the Lord Nelson. And then we were on with the Damned and the Buzzcocks and Chris Spedding. We were back in Chris Spedding.
Although we didn't know it until the night of the gig.
Yeah, we were there, and the guy put the gig on, Ron Watts, I think his name was.
He advertised Chris Spedding was playing.
Yeah, he put these big posters up for Chris Spedding.
The only thing Chris Spedding knew about it was he saw the posters, so he thought, I better go down and find out what's going on. So he turned up at the gig, and Ron Watts said, oh, hi Chris, good, I'm glad you could make it. And he said, well, I haven't got a pen. He said, well, we'd better get you one. So he considered that we were the only band capable of learning the songs in the dressing room before the gig, which we did, and off we went.
And also we had a much bigger sort of song base than probably the other bands, because we'd been playing, you know, all over it for years, you know. And you know, I even used to put an ad in the paper and go off and work with like jazz organists, and I worked in an Irish show band and stuff, you know, just read off a list of songs, you know, you go yes, no, you know, so you can play.
What's next on your list?
What musical influences, what have you listened to?
Ooh. Well, because we started in the 70s, all our musical influences were from the 50s and 60s, and I think everybody in the band at that time liked different things. I mean, I know John Ellis was a huge sort of Frank Zappa fan, which completely perplexed me.
I think Frank's brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, I can't stand it. But, you know, I was in sort of the Rolling Stones and the Kinks and the Yardbirds and the Who and the Faces and all those, the Small Faces, all those kind of bands, plus all the sort of 50s stuff. Chuck Berry, Eddie Cochran, all the soul things, you know, Wilson Pickett, you know, all that stuff. So that's what was influenced me. I mean, if you wanted to pick drummers, it would have to be people like Kenny Jones and Keith Moon, Charlie Watts, these kind of people.
Yeah, Pat Collar, he liked Gary Glitter and, you know, mainstream kind of pop stuff, basically. And I liked sort of Velvet Underground, Lou Reed and Iggy Pop. So, and I had been through all the other stuff.
That was a weird thing, that we started doing Iggy Pop stuff thinking nobody's going to heard this, nobody's going to know this stuff, and then you go and do the festivals and things with the Pistols thinking, Christ, they're playing Iggy Pop stuff too.
Yeah.
And then you do the thing with the Damned, you think, hey, they're doing an Iggy Pop. So all these people were coming, I think Iggy Pop was a big influence on all the bands, and they drew all those threads together, and that was kind of, and the Velvet Underground as well, they were another band that was very popular, because we sounded Knox's voices a bit like that. We kind of made a deliberate policy of not doing Velvet Underground stuff.
Yeah. From the 100 Club Festival, because we worked with Chris Spedding that day, he was involved with Mickey Most, and he got Mickey Most to come and see us when we were playing in the Holloway Road. And then shortly after that, he offered us a recording deal. And although Mickey Most was like pop, we didn't have a management like the Clash had, like Bernie, and the Pistols had Malcolm, but we didn't have anybody. And like, you know, suddenly you're offered a sort of recording contract from somebody, sort of you know, you can sort of deliver the goods.
I mean, he was very famous at the time because he was one of the judges in the sort of pop idols of its day. I can't remember what it was called.
We were sort of agonising about signing to him or not. We
just went down and recorded the stuff because there was nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you want to do He paid us to do a session with Spedding. I think we got paid £100 each for that, and then we thought, blimey, that's all right.
Yeah, we did Poker Dancing with Chris Spedding, and then we did We Vibrate.
then he stuck it out, and we were thinking, great, we got a single out, and we were like playing in Swindon or somewhere, and we were going to get burgers after a gig from a burger bar, and it was actually on the radio in the burger bar, I always remember that. He rushed down his office and said, hey, you got the single, come here with some copies. And they gave us 4. I said, 4, can we have one? Because we sort of got a guy, Dave Burnham, who was going to be our manager at it. So I said, can we have one for our manager, please? Because when we started dealing with him, we thought we'd better get a manager. And so it was Knox's cousin, and he gave us 4. So can we have another one? Can we have 2 each? Can I get one for my mum? That's all we ever got, 4. No wonder he's so rich, or he was. He was a nice bloke though, I like Mickey.
He was alright, yeah. But he used to, in the studio, it was so loud, I mean, monitoring in there, and the poor guy, the tape op, would wear these sound protectors and stuff. And then Mickey would suddenly jump up and say his ears had gone, and that was the end of the session. And that was it. Anyway, moving along, later on that, my cousin Dave, who was managing us, thought, we ought to sign to CBS. So we signed to Epic, which was a CBS, part of CBS, yeah. And we started recording, our first album, which we did in CBS Studios in Whitfield Street. But just up after the 100 Club Festival, we had a lot of violence there, and then that led to lots of gigs being cancelled. But Pat Colley was always very kind of, can't think what word it is, but he said, oh, don't worry about that, because then suddenly you get a load more gigs would come in, sort of blew over. Yeah, we were doing tours, supporting like Iggy Pop, and we'd been out in Germany and stuff. And we were working a lot. I would think that for every gig the Pistols did, we were doing, 10 gigs. We were out more. We were out all the time playing these clubs. And used to meet, years later you meet people, and they're sort of friends of mine now, and they would say how shocked they were by how we looked and this kind of music we were playing. When punk first kind of went out into like the suburbs and up into the rest of the country and into Europe and stuff.
Well, we did some sort of weird things, didn't we? I mean, when we used to do like the Nashville, and you'd be supporting, like the Stranglers or whatever, and when you were supporting and nobody knew who you were, you went on and everyone would just sit at the bar drinking with their back turned to you and ignoring you. So one time I thought, right, we'll get them. So we just went out and hit everything, all the clans as loud as we could, cymbals, drums, fuck off, really loud into the microphones. Everybody in the whole club turned around, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, straight into the first song, and you kind of got the whole people. But nobody had ever done anything like that before. It was really kind of, it's commonplace now, but at that time people stood there, you can see their mouths drop open as this like a salt hit them. But it was good fun.
Yeah, so we were doing tons of gigs, and then we went in and recorded the first album with the guy who'd been doing the sound for us, and he used to do the sound for not Iggy Pop,
David
Bowie and people.
We did the Iggy Pop tour and the Ian Hunt tour, didn't we?
Yeah, and that's how we recorded Pure Mania in the studios, and then that came out, and we had Baby as a single, where I think was it London Girls maybe now before that. Can't remember.
London Girls was the first single, I think.
Yeah, and that was a live single.
No, it wasn't. It was Baby, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then we put out London Girls live.
Called it at the Marquee.
Yeah, and we sort of carried
about
on.
1,000 people in a club that only had a licence for about 300 or something.
Yeah, I think someone said we were the only band that had more in there than Jimi Hendrix or something.
Yeah. It used to rain, it used to get so hot in there that after, when you were packing up and getting out the gig at the end, all the water condensed on the ceiling and the pipes, and then at the end it would all just drip down, and it was just like standing in the rain with all the sweat pouring off the ceiling. It was bizarre, it was good.
But it was very exciting in those days, and like you're playing with all these other bands all over the place, and stuff. Anyway, we went on, and I think Pat Collier left the band because he didn't really like touring. I think he wanted to start a studio, because at the time he had a day job working in the studio up in somewhere like Hendon.
He used to work at Decca Studios.
Yeah, Decca Studios, that's right, yeah. And he was replaced by Gary Tibbs, and then we made our second album, V2, with Vic Mail. That was done out at
Jackson Studios in Britain.
Yeah, by Maple Cross near Rickmansworth. And we did, produced sort of stuff like, Troops of Tomorrow there.
We spent a whole day doing the vocals on that. the four of us, we double tracked it and tracked it and tracked it and bounced it down and bounced it down and tracked it, and so we did, in the end, to get like a huge football crowd, we did it for about 8 hours singing with that.
Oh, that's terrible, yeah.
We sang it badly, we sang it in girls' voices, we sang it in low voices, we shouted it, and we mixed the whole thing down. It took about 8 hours just singing that thing over and over again. And the first verse was with Knox, was just put through a monitor, through a studio monitor with this really crappy speaker with the horrible sound, and that's how you get that distorted thing on the first verse. And the rest of it was us singing it over and over and over again. Different.
Yeah, we did. I think we recorded Automatic Lover twice. I didn't like it the first time, so we recorded it twice, and then we had an edited down version for the single. Anyway, then we did another tour, and then John Ellis left. I think he got sort of fed up with touring again. I think he wanted to do, the band was mainly doing my material, and he wanted probably to do more of his material. So he sort of left. But there was a sort of bad little bit where he and Gary Tibbs seemed to be fed up being in the band, but we're touring. But you just think, well, loads of people give their right arm to be in the band touring. But anyway, he left, and then we had Greg Van Cook and
Ben
Brearley on bass.
And that didn't last very long.
And then I left. I got sort of disillusioned with it all a bit. I left, and then Eddie carried the band on a bit and did Disco in Moscow, which was a really good song. And you almost signed quite a good label, didn't you?
Yeah, we were going to sign a Bronze, and they had it all sussed out, and they sent the contract off to the solicitor to have it okay. And he said, no, I couldn't renegotiate this. He wrote back to them saying we want twice as much money, and they sold it. They said stuff it, and that's panned out, and we just packed up for about 18 months. And I think John and Pat was talking. Pat had a studio running, and he said, well, let's do a Vibrators album. So they phoned us up and said, do you want to go in and do a Vibrators album? And yeah, all right.
Well, what he said, I think, was that there was a renewed interest in punk. You see, because punk basically thought it sort of fizzled out a bit. And Pat said, look, let's get together and quickly knock out an album of any old stuff and make some money. And I objected that. I said, look, it's got to be quite good. So anyway, John wanted everyone to have an equal share of the writing, so we all only had like 3 or 4 songs each or something on there, and that was Guilty, and that was with Cherry Red. That's a Guilty album. And we did a bit of touring, and then Pat left again, and then John stayed on a bit longer, didn't he?
Yeah, he stayed on about 4 or 5 years at that time.
Yeah, we used to get various people in playing, so we had Noel, the sound guy, he came in and played bass for us, and he was borrowing John's bass once, and he jumped off his table and ripped all the electrics out of it.
There's this big spew of sort of electrics and bits of wood spread all over the stage, tied on with his lead and bits of wire, and John going, shit, that's my brand new bass guitar.
It's funny, but I can imagine what poor John,
Yeah, it was bloody funny, the whole audience was laughing.
And yeah, we just carried on touring, but it's very hard work. You have to humble your own gear and stuff, and sometimes you're playing nice places, sometimes terrible places, and driving all night. Well, I don't drive, but Eddie has to drive all night.
Knox is asleep in the back at this point in time. He's the one who always moans about the driving, and he's always the one that's lying about.
Very skilled passenger.
And his head open, sound asleep in the back, completely zonked out. Oh yeah, I think I should have another couple of hours sleep. Oh, it's been a terrible drive. Anyway.
I don't know about the drive though.
You just did.
No, that's an observation.
You just did.
Then we just carried on making lots of albums.
How many?
I think we've made altogether about 15 or 16 studio albums. And sometimes, we were paid to make them by record companies, but I think in the last 8 or 10 years we financed them ourselves, so then we license them to companies. That means, we can get them back after 5 years and sell them again.
And they remain ours. That's one of the nice things. It's always our property, but when you sign a label with a label like CBS or something, they own that album now forever. So we can never get it back and do things with it, or re-release it, or do whatever. We have to go through them to do it. But with owning our own stuff, you make more of the profit, and and it's yours in a strange kind of way, which is kind of good.
Yeah, and also, you know, you're not signed to one label. You can sort of have stuff on various labels.
And if that label screws up, you just go with another one.
Yeah, just go with another label. And I mean, lots of the labels we're on are very good. You know, you can't. I mean, I think at our level,
except those cherry red. Oh gosh.
No, they're brilliant. Yeah.
No, they're good.
But at our level, you know, there's not a great deal of promotion. They just basically you make the album and it goes in the racks and things like. You know, I personally would like to spend longer making the albums, and I mean not months and months, but I wouldn't mind an extra sort of week. We usually do it in about 2 weeks, you know, something like that, 14, 16 days.
If we had another 2 weeks, you'd want another 2 weeks.
No, I'm not really like that.
Trying to get it better and better and better.
But there's some things, you know, like people say to you, you know, because sometimes I say to people that track should have done more work on it, and some people will go, well, how can you possibly put stuff out when you know it's not quite finished, you see? But then that's the deal, and if you can't accept that, then you kind of can't make the records, really.
Otherwise, I think if you don't draw a line somewhere and say, this is the budget and this is when we have to finish, you end up spending like 6 months in the studio doing one song like the Beatles used to.
But, you know, if we spent £10 million on an album, would it actually be better, that much better than what we do anyway?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You need some spontaneity in the records, and you need some excitement and some vibe on the tracks, and I don't think you get too much of that by spending 8 months in the studio. That all gets done out of it. All your records end up sounding like those dreadful sort of wall of sound things that like Phil Spector used to make that I don't actually like much. Because he actually used to make the band play it over and over and over and over until they were so bored with it there was no passion in it, and that's when he thought, right, that's the one I want. And I don't like that personally. Personally, I think that's awful.
Anyway, we basically, over the years, we've done masses of touring. We've been sort of all over the place, you know. The only country we haven't really been to is like Australia. But
we haven't been to anywhere in Africa either, but then not many other bands.
No, Dubai, that was Africa.
Yes, well, no, Dubai's not Africa, is it?
No,
it's sort of Asia, isn't it?
All right. Well,
we've
been down in Japan and Brazil and around America loads of times.
Yeah, we do a tour of America every year now, and that goes very well. Every year out there, we just basically go out and play the clubs, and each year we go back and get more and more people in. So it's like doing it the hard way, but it's good fun. We're getting good crowds out there, and a lot of the weird thing is also playing to a lot of people that are 17 or 18 years old, and they come along and we're the rebel music, you know, because they're just bored with all this, you know, dull stuff that they get pre-packaged and handed out to them, you know, the Britney Spears and that. There's a lot of kids who are just not interested in that kind of pre-packaged music, and they want to go out and see stuff that's real. And you can fake anything, but you can't fake live music on stage. You know, I mean, if we drop a mic, then you can bet your life that the vocals will stop coming out in front of the PA, you know, and when you see Madonna and she drops the mic, hang on, how's she still singing?
I've got my man behind a curtain playing guitar for me.
If we had a curtain to play behind him.
I always fancy doing that.
You'd have to have a midget.
You pull
midget hiding behind the
curtain gets pulled and there's a guy playing, and I stop playing, and you know, they became, what the hell?
It's very difficult to actually do that in a lot of the clubs we play in, though. You have to have a midget hiding behind the amplifier and snuggling into the bass drums. And yeah, but we've been to a lot of places. We've been all over, every country you can think of in Europe, pretty much. And America, South America.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to sort of see places, you know, like on the last tour around America we saw, you know, Yellowstone Park, the Grand Canyon, and went round Graceland.
Which is weird.
And also another very good aspect of the band is when you're out touring, people turn up from years ago, you know, they might have been to school with or something, and things like that, you know, and just meet all these people. What else should we talk about?
What's on his list?
Other bands like Green Day and Blink-182. People often ask, you know, what do you think of them? They're rubbish and all that. But I think a lot of those bands are actually quite good. They've got quite good tunes, and it's not absolutely my stuff. But I think the fact that they're sort of playing sort of punk kind of stuff
and doing it their own way.
Yeah, but also I think it brings attention to the punk scene, you know, and it helps us get work and sell more records, so it keeps it all going, you know.
Probably have busted at the top of the charts and so many other acts.
Top of the Pops.
Top of the Pops, we'll be back there, we've done it once.
Yeah, we did Top of the Pops, yeah. That was...
Much to my daughter's amazement. That's great.
That was quite good. You know, that's the thing people ask you sometimes. They say, have you ever been on Top of the Pops? You know. Yeah, so the two main questions I ever get asked are, what was it like playing with the Pistols? And all that, so I've had to answer that a few times. And then about Top of the Pops, I suppose, yeah. Which was...
The Pistols were funny because when we played with them in Amsterdam, they flew out all these sort of weirdo people that they used to have at the gigs and make it look weird. Had them all go out to Amsterdam, and they were very quiet and down in the mouth at that whole weekend. I think we did 2 or 3 shows.
2 shows, yeah.
And they didn't hardly speak much or anything because that was when they just got dropped by EMI or whatever it was that week. EMI first one, and then it was one of the other labels later. They're all right. Nice boys, good band. Fantastic first album. Since then, not a lot.
Yeah, on Top of the Pops, I was singing live. You see, what you do the day before you record it, you go in, you actually do it. You have to re-record the backing track. So we did that, and I decided I was singing live, but I had a terrible hangover on Top of the Pops, and the monitoring actually wasn't very good. We were on with Elvis Costello, who's got his brilliant voice and everything. He was really good. And I kept getting really nervous because they keep you waiting around, you have to stand around in front of all these sort of little school kid girls and all that stuff, which I found sort of a bit embarrassing. And then they started up, and Eddie's playing on the drums, so he's got these rubber mats, but it's still loud. And you know, I could have suddenly started singing really high because I was so nervous, but fortunately I didn't. And also the monitors, you know, not right here like they probably are now. There's a sort of speaker in the ceiling about sort of 20 foot away. He's just going, oh my God, it was perfectly all right, but I decided, you know, to sing it live because I just thought it would have more, feel more real.
I think you had to in those days. You had no choice, didn't you?
No, you could mime, and then they went to that thing a few years later where you had to sing live or something.
I don't know. I thought we had to. What else you got on your list?
Why did you go to Berlin in 1778?
Right, but we went to Berlin in '78 because our manager thought that it's a kind of press thing to do. We relocated Berlin and say London was sort of finished and boring. And we went out to Berlin, and then we had a flat there, and we just sort of hung out in Berlin for a few weeks.
It was good. It was a matter of going out to Berlin, and we were doing very well on our German tours, and a lot of people were interested in the band. There was a scene arriving, and some guy phoned us up, this Wolf Moser guy, and said, "Do you want to come out to Berlin for a month or 2?" And you know, I got a rehearsal place, and you can do some rehearsals and all the rest of it. And there was bands forming, so we thought, well, yeah, sounds like a good crack. Got a cheap place to stay, and we went out there, and we used their rehearsal facilities and rehearsed up most of the songs that came out on V2.
Yeah, so I wrote a lot of stuff there because there was a friend of ours, a journalist called Dave Fudger, and he was sort of trying. He was saying to me, "You've got to write sort of songs with more kind of, you know, commitment in them or something." I can't remember exactly, but he was going, you know, we're out here in Berlin and the wall's up and we're surrounded by the Russians and all that. You see, so then I started writing all these things like War Zone, Troops of Tomorrow, Destroy, all that kind of war stuff. But that was directly as a result of him sort of talking about that stuff.
Being in Berlin, I mean, Berlin was a very strange place in the days when the wall went round there. And the wall was supposedly built a yard inside East German territory, so that if you actually went close to the wall, they had a legitimate right to shoot you. So there was very little graffiti on the walls in those days. So we went round, of course, painting our name all over the wall. We were shipping out at night, and it was illegal to do it. But you know, when you see the wall now later, and when they pulled it down, the whole thing was covered from top to bottom, from end to end in graffiti. It was long buried under inches of paint, but at that time, even though it had been up sort of 10 or 15 years or whatever it was still pretty much pristine with just bits of graffiti here and there. But it was an interesting experience, and of course it gave us an angle to get stuff in the press about us, and it gave us a toe up in Germany. You know, we did some great shows out there, the Camp Kino and places. It was really good.
Yes, when we played in the Camp Kino, we had all these people going mad, and then the next day we went there, and I think it was AC/DC, and people were just... When we arrived there in the audience, we got a big standing ovation from the audience, and I think we had a much better reception than AC/DC had. unfortunately.
They haven't done bad since, have they?
That's right, yeah.
They've done quite well. I wonder whatever happened to them. What else you got there?
The connection with the exploited troops tomorrow.
Knox, I'll have to answer that.
Yeah, one day I was on the dole in the early 80s, and I bought Melody Maker, and I was walking up the road, and I was looking in the charts, and I suddenly saw this Troops for Tomorrow, and I was going, I wonder if that's my song. That was the album title they had for their album, you see. And then I think I went and bought the album, I got the album, and it was my song, and so that's quite good. But I didn't really know much about them in those days. But that was very good that they did it, yeah. And we see Watty, when we're up in Edinburgh. Usually he'll come on when we're playing there. And actually, he drummed once for a few songs in the Urban Dogs one time in the 100 Club.
Quite a few of our songs have been covered by other bands, so that's one of the encouraging things as you go around the world. There's bands everywhere around the world covering our songs.
But I will say about Troops of Tomorrow that most people come up and they go, you did a really good version of the Exploited song, but it's actually our song. They don't realise,
they didn't credit it on their album. They didn't credit it to you, did they? I don't think.
No, I think that sometimes they have all songs by the Exploited, you see. But I picked the money up for it, so.
That's all right. Well, there was even a band in New England, in America, that was called Pure Mania, that just used to go out and do the whole of the Pure Mania album, which is pretty weird.
What's your best selling single?
Probably Baby Baby.
Probably Baby. Yeah, it's got to be Baby Baby, because Totenhausen did a cover of that in Germany, and that sold 250,000 or more. So probably that one, but not far behind would be Disco Moscow, I think.
Yeah.
Because Totenhausen did that as well. Yeah.
Lots of bands cover us.
And let me talk about this guitar here.
Yes, yeah.
Right, this guitar here is my homemade guitar.
Nah. You made that yourself?
I did, Eddie.
Wow.
And this is the actual guitar I wrote Baby Baby on, you see. And here it is. And it's been slightly more decorated over the years, but that's it.
Did you play on Baby Baby? Recorded?
Yeah, I played. Well, no, I didn't use this on that. But actually, I did use this in for a video of, I think it was London Girls or Judy Sayers, which was actually shot for the Mark Bolan show. But then, unfortunately, he got killed, so it never appeared. But that is the guitar. I wrote quite a lot of stuff on that without it even being plugged in, just sort of acoustic. It's only got 5 strings here, but it used to have 6.
Well, that's all that Keith Richards ever has.
Yeah.
It's good enough for Keith. It's good enough for us. Got anything else on the list here that we haven't touched on?
The different lineups as well.
Oh no, we'll be here till Christmas if we talk
Well,
about
no,
all
there's
different
something.
lineups.
We've had, in the past, we've had people like Dave Birch, who he played on the Duck Rock album, Malcolm McLaren, and also he was on Video Killed the Radio Star. I don't know what's happened to him now. We had Don Snow, who's changed his name to John Savannah now, and he plays with people like Van Morrison and Lulu. So I'm sure I saw him on the Lulu.
He was a squeeze for a while as well.
Yeah, he's a very good musician, and he's a nice guy. Pat Collier used to be in the band. He's doing very well. He's got a studio down in South London. He produces people like, over the years he's done Wonder stuff, remix Gary Glitter, everybody,
Subs, us.
Yeah, he's very. He had Alaska Studios. So it probably in the 80s probably recorded half the punk stuff produced in Britain. It was just full of punk bands down there recording albums and stuff. John Ellis worked with the Stranglers, Peter Hamill, and Peter Gabriel, and I'm not sure what he's doing now. I think he's trying to do an album with Paul, the singer from the Stranglers. What else have we had in the band? Bob Brearley, I think, is doing antique. Ben Brearley's doing antiques. Greg Van Cook.
We met him in New York.
We thought he was dead because Jane County rather cruelly in her book wrote that he was dead, so we thought he was dead. And then he turned up and said he was alive, but even though he was alive, he said,
He said he was alive.
Well, even though he was alive, people still regarded him, because it had been written down he was dead, that he was sort of dead. And he said he had a lot of problems with that. And it had upset his family or something, you know.
That thing about reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated, or whatever it was who said that.
And then recently in the band we've had Robbie Tart. He did like 3 years with us, and he's been gone about 6 months now, 4 months, something like that.
Mickey Owens down in Bristol.
Yeah, Mickey Owen, and
Duncan, don't know what he's doing.
And Nigel Bennett used to be in the members. He did about 6 years with us, and he was on How Clean Is Your House the other day. His house, because his singer, his house was really filthy, dirty.
Very, very smelly house.
Yeah,
very smelly house. They've cleaned it up for him.
But Nigel's a very good guitar player. But you can edit that out. No, but he is very good, Nigel.
That's most of them, I think.
That's probably most of them, yeah.
Pete, is
Pete,
there?
oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
How clean is your house?
This is our brilliant new bass player here, Pete, and he's from Finland, and he's got his band No Direction.
Yeah.
And he is hanging around with a couple of old guys like Eddie and myself.
Yeah, they keep feeding me the air and
brings a breath of fresh air into
some sort of social work. But he seems to enjoy himself with us.
It's alright. Free beer, free tattoos, why not?
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, a free tattoo.
Mm.
I haven't even had one yet.
Do you need free facial surgery?
In a couple of years.
It's worked out very good. It's brought in a bit of breath of fresh air to the band, give us a kick up the arse. So it seems that we wear the bass players out. They usually last about 2 or 3 years, and then they're completely wasted and they can't carry on anymore and they leave. So we have to get a new one. And each time we get one, we get a younger one in the hope that it'll last a bit longer. You know. Poor blighters, you see, these bass players aren't made of such stern stuff as us old chaps.
Yeah, we're sort of resilient, you know, kind of carrying on. We're trained up for it, so we've done years and years of these grinding tours.
But it's good, you go out there, it's because of the fans. If you didn't have anybody to play to, you would stop. People say, why do you keep going? Well, every time you go out and play, there's loads of people there, everyone has a great time, you get free beer, something you eat, you get paid, and it's a great job. And like you say, we've been all around the world, seeing all sorts of different countries that most people never get to even dream of seeing, and it would cost them a fortune to go to, you know.
Yeah, because basically the money is very poor that you get. The money's not very good, but you sort of enjoy a sort of top lifestyle. You know, everywhere you go, people are very pleased to see you.
You've got free tickets to Disneyland.
Yeah, it's
fantastic.